Hello everyone and welcome. Today we are talking about a crucial component for our Sonys, the Type A CFexpress cards. They are fast, high performance, but also very expensive. For years, the excellent Sony Tough cards were almost the only choice, but today the market offers very powerful alternatives, like these new cards from Pergear. And here's where things get interesting. The Sony card is based on the oldest CFexpress 2.0 standard. This Pergear, however, is a new generation card, CFexpress 4.0, which on paper promises nearly double that speed. The question is my Sony Alpha 1 one of the most powerful cameras in the world ready for this speed? To find out, I put it through its pace, and I'll tell you, the results will surprise you. Let's start with the most critical test for action shooters, clearing the buffer. I set the Alpha 1 to lossless compressed RAW, maximum bars and shoot for 10 seconds. Then we'll time how long it takes to save everything. About 4 seconds. An excellent result, our benchmark. And now the next generation card. With twice the advertised write speed, the expectation is the same, it's not faster timed. Let's see. Parse finished and the buffer is writing and writing. Okay, now. See, about 10 seconds, more than double the time. I've repeated the test several times and the result remains the same. So what the hell is going on? Why is a technologically superior card slower in practice? The answer isn't in the card, but in the hardware limitation of the camera. To get it this way, current cameras, including this Alpha 1 and the newer Alpha 1 Mark II, were built with the CFexpress 2.0 standard. This means their internal highway has a speed limit of about 1000 megabytes per second. The Pergear card, on the other hand, is a CFexpress 4.0, a race card designed for a 2000 megabytes per second highway. Basically, we have a Ferrari, the Pergear card, forced to travel on a highway. The Alpha 1 hardware, no matter how powerful its engine, it can exceed the speed limit imposed by the road. But then you might ask why the Sony card, which is also limited by the same road, faster. This is where firmware optimization comes into play. Sony designed the camera, the firmware and the cards. It's a closed and perfectly harmonized ecosystem. The Alpha 1 software knows how to talk to the Sony card's controller to squeeze the most out of it, reaching the camera's physical limit. With the Pergear, this perfect optimization maybe is missing. The camera communicates in a more generic way, unable to exploit either its maximum speed or reach the peak allowed by the camera itself in the 10 seconds. But if the card can't run in the camera, can it run outside? I tested the data transfer with the Pergear's new USB 4 reader. I'll try it first. Again, almost identical results, and again the culprit is a bottleneck. My computer, which has a USB 3.2 port. Both the cards and the readers are faster than my port can handle. However, as you know, tests like this can be very subjective. First of all, I've used a manual stopwatch, where it's known to be difficult to be precise, so I relied on an impartial tool, installed Crystal Disk Mark, and ran a series of tests with the 2 CompactFlex card reader and the 3 CompactFlex A cards I own, and the results were decidedly interesting. Let's see why. As you can see, the Pergear card reader is significantly faster in both reading and writing than its Sony counterpart. A sign that, despite using the same USB data transfer channel, the Pergear does its job better. This is where the true potential of these 4.0 cards comes into play. With a latest generation computer equipped with USB 4 or Thunderbolt 4, the download time with the Pergear would be drastically reduced. Furthermore, the Pergear reader is very aesthetically pleasing, not that the Sony is ugly, but I find it a bit bland. Then there's the dual slot, so CF Type A and CF Type B, which the Sony doesn't have. So, to summarize, is the Pergear CFexpress A a bad card? Absolutely no. It's a high-tech advanced card, but it came before the cameras capable of using it. With the Pergear for today, if you are a videographer or a photographer who doesn't rely on extreme burst, for example, for landscape or portrait, it's an excellent choice. It offers all the speed needed for 8K video with a very competitive price. In fact, I used exclusively Pergear cards for my Sony FX30 with excellent results. If, on the other hand, you are a sports or nature photographer with an Alpha 1 and every second of buffer time matters, Sony's optimized ecosystem with Tough cards remain the best performing in-camera choice today. In a certain sense, buying one of these cards today is an investment for the future. You are buying a product that's currently limited by your camera, but will be ready for unleash its full power on your next Sony Alpha 1 Mark III or Alpha 9 Mark IV. You'll already be one step ahead. And for those who own cameras from other brands, with this card reader you can manage everything without having to buy one for each brand you own. A significant savings. I hope this technical insight has been helpful in understanding the real dynamics behind the numbers on the box. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.